Alright everybody, let's get started. Welcome to the Crazy Flyer channel. Today we're going to fly the Boeing 767-400 by a flight factor. We're going to fly from Chicago to Newark, do a little United hub-to-hub route. Should be a lot of fun. Now, quick disclaimer before we get started, I am on reserve at work today, being an airline pilot, so that means there is a chance I might get called in. Hopefully that's not the case. I do have to keep my phone by me though, and as long as, you know, basically once I get a call to go out to work, I basically got an hour to get out the door at my house. So as long as we're far enough in the flight, we should hopefully still be able to get the flight completed unless we haven't left the ground yet. But just in case that happens, just so everybody knows, I am on reserve. Maybe we'll talk more about airline reserve life later on in the flight. But anyways, that aside, we are flying the Boeing 767 today. Should be a lot of fun. We're going to do an early morning departure here out of Chicago. It's still dark and early, a little bit rainy, overcast. We should be able to see a nice sunrise coming up over the clouds, and yeah, it should be daytime by the time we're touching down in Newark. So with that said, let's hop into the flight deck and let's go flying. Let me kill the music in the background too. We don't need that running. We'll listen to some music and cruise. I'm thinking, you know, close enough to Christmas time, maybe we'll do a little Christmas music while we're in cruise here. Alright, welcome to the flight deck of the 767-400. We are going to be live on VATSIM. We're already filed and flight planned. I've already got the load completed, so it should be pretty quick. We're just going to rock and roll with the overhead flows, and I'm hoping we'll be off the gate here in about 10-15 minutes at the most. That might be wishful thinking on my part, but we'll see. We'll do our best. What's going on?
It seems to be a bit chilly in the cabin.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll take care of that. It's so realistic. I have flight attendants tell me that all the time. Not really. Actually, usually I'll have the AP run in before we start boarding passengers at work. That's what I like to do, because it only takes once where you, like the plug will fall out of the airplane or something, or the ground crew will disconnect it without asking you, and you're halfway through boarding, the airplane goes dark, it gets really awkward. So usually my preference is to start the APU before I board passengers, but I didn't do that here in the sim today. It does take a little bit longer to board a 767 than an Embraer 175 though. Alright, let's see, we got that done. Let's see, it is an even day, so we'll go even number for the ignition system. We'll turn fuel pumps on since we're getting that APU fired up. We're going to do most everything, because like I said, I think we're going to be off the gate here pretty quick. That is my plan, at least. Okay. Let's see, APU looks like it's up and running. Let's get the power transferred. APU gen online, we're going to come off the GPU. Looks like the airplane's happy, that's good. Get the APU bleeds running here. We'll get that cabin warmed up. He said it was a little cool in the back. Isolation packs. Oh, the default flight factor sounds are not the greatest. We'll put up with it for today though. I had to look around and see if there's actually a sound pack out yet for this 767-400. I know there is for the other 7.6 variants, but I don't know if there is for this one yet or not. Let me tweak the sounds. As always, let me know if I'm too loud, too quiet. I can always tweak volumes here. I think the sim might be a hair on the loud side. We're going to bring it down just a bit. Julian S. could not imagine something cooler than getting called to fly whilst flying in the sim. Yeah. I'll be honest, I kind of want to go flying today if I can at work, but they didn't call me in. Last time I ended up having to work till like 4 a.m., so I got to be careful what I wish for. But we'll see. I'm giving myself probably about a 40% chance of getting called in today. If I don't get called in today, I'll probably get called in tomorrow. But that is airline reserve life. Okay, we got the overhead flows done. I don't think there's anything we really need to do down here. Trims are good. We got the displays set up how we want them. I guess we could brighten up the panel a little bit. That'll make life a little easier for us. With that, let's hop into the FMS. We'll start getting set up here. Let's see, pull up WebFMC over here on the iPad. For our flight plan today, we're coming out of Chicago. Let's see what's going on weather-wise. Winds 230 at 11, gust 19. We'll probably come off of runway 28 right, or yeah, 28 right, November 5 is usually what they depart. 4 miles light snow. Okay, we might have to make sure we're not icing up. I know the icing physics here in X-Plane 12 can be janky. I really hope we don't end up icing the airplane too much. I was flying the A320 a couple weeks ago in the sim, the Tullis, and was on approach into Billings, Montana. Wasn't live streaming, thankfully, but we iced up the airplane. I had the anti-icing systems on, but the way the X-Plane is, all of a sudden the airplane, it overcame the airplane's ability to get the ice off. The airplane iced up, and we literally just like fell out of the sky. It was kind of, I was really glad I wasn't live streaming that one, because that would have been an awkward way to end it. But alright, 28s, 29er62 on the altimeter. Let's get that set up here. 29er62. Whoop. 29er62. There we go. We'll set it ×3. I keep forgetting, I gotta look through the settings and see if I can synchronize these. Make my life a little easier. Okay, that is done. So we'll come off 28 right, November 5. Let's get this loaded in. We've got a good database, 29 December 22. We're coming out of Chicago, ORD. There we go. And going to Newark. And we are operating today as United 224. There we go. Cool. That is done. Alright, now for route of flight, actually let's do departure. I don't think we can actually load the Chicago departure or the ORD, but we'll load the runway in there at least 28 right. There we go. And then after departure, we are going to be direct to Duffy. And then direct to ELX. I forget which VOR that is, I gotta look that one up. Direct to Hack. And then direct Doxy. Is that 2 X's? Yeah, 2 X's. And then direct to Sosic. And then direct to Kehoe. J584. And then to Slate Run for the Williamsport arrival. Let's see, for the arrival we'll go nav, Newark arrival, FQM3, Slate Run transition, and let's just for fun reduce our workload later and see what they're landing up in Newark. Let's see, it looks like they're currently landing on the 4, so 4 right, do the ILS 4 right off Kilma, and we'll load all that in. And let's just run through here. I know this, or the flight factors love to put that discontinuity at the beginning of the arrival, so we'll take Slate Run up to Zorbo. That'll close out the discontinuity. Hit the execute button on that. And that all looks good. We're going to leave this discontinuity in here for Kilma, because this is the end of the arrival, and then we'll have to do some self-vectoring to get ourselves onto the approach. Rain's so cozy. I know. That's one of my favorite things, like just sitting in like a car or even a house, you know, if you can hear the rain against the windows. It was a very relaxing feeling. I can fall asleep to that. Okay, that is done. Let's go perf in it. We'll get this done. Let's pull up our flight factor EFB here. So we already got the loading done, so we're just going to copy the information over into the FMS. Zero fuel weight is going to be 297.4. And reserve fuel, we're going to pull this off the release. That is going to be 6392, we'll call it 6.4. And cruising at 370. Cost index is going to be 56. And cruise winds 246 at 59. That looks good. We'll do takeoff. Since we got some adverse weather, possible icing, we'll do a full toga takeoff out of here. Won't derate at all. I guess we'll derate the climb, at least climb 1. We'll do flaps 15. And that looks good. Take off. Wait, hang on. Back. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. CG is going to be 20% MAC. And then we'll do KEWR speeds 42, 48, 56. That looks good. That's going to give us a trim of 4.2. So we'll slide back here to our trim indicator and we'll adjust that to 4.2, which is going to be about right there. And we should be set up on the FMS. We'll set the MCP now, mode control panel. Put 5,000 for our initial altitude. We'll brief our departure here in just a minute. Runway heading off of 28 right is 275. So we'll bug runway heading for now and 5,000 feet. Arm our flight directors. Let's brief our departure here out of Chicago. Alright, need the 10-9 page, and then we're going to need the O'Hare 7 departure. Alright, general speed restriction, we're going to maintain 250 until advised by ATC. We don't have any ATC actually on VATSIM today, so I'm thinking once we get above 10, unless we see other traffic, we'll accelerate at that point. For this departure though, all it really says is we're going to climb on tower sign heading. We need to cross the 5.5 DME arc off GCO at or above 3 and the 8.5 arc at or above 4. So to set that up, what we'll do is we'll come down here to RadNav, and we're just going to hard tune our Chicago VOR, which is 108.25. And we'll set it both sides. And then as long as we have this set up here to VOR1, there we go, we've got our distance. In fact, we'll do them both for redundancy. We've got our distance, so we can just manually watch that. In fact, is there a fixed info page in here? This is what we do in the Embraer if they actually do have a fixed page. They do. So we'll put in GCO, Chicago, and then we'll do a slant 5 right here, and then a slant 8. You can't do partial miles, but what this does is here on the MFD, see how it drew these rings? So for situational awareness, that'll help us know that before we cross this ring, we need to be at or above 3,000. Before we cross that ring, we need to be at or above 4,000. That just visually backs up what the numbers are telling us here, and as long as we do that, we're complying with this departure procedure. And that's what we do in the Embraer too. It works out really nicely for situational awareness. Okay, I think we got the airplane set up. Looks like the nav systems are aligned. Let's run some checklists. We'll let them start the
Ladies and gentlemen,
PAs as well.
This is the head purser. The crew would like to welcome you on board this Boeing airliner.
Checklist, there we go. Pre-flight O2, actually we didn't check the O2, let's do that. Alright, good test on the O2. Pressurization mode selector is auto, flight instruments set. Park brakes set, fuel control switches are cut off, and gear pins are removed and stowed. Before start, fuel, we need 30, or we have 39.8 planned, we got 38.9. Ooh, they shorted us a little bit on fuel, actually. Let me see here. Yeah, I guess I threw in 39. Let me take a look. What's our min for takeoff? Min for takeoff I think was 32.9. That's what I got written down here. As long as we can take off above that number, then we're good. We're legal for departure. Yeah, 32.9. Rounded up as our departure fuel. So that's okay. That we did get a little bit shorter than what we want. We just got a little less extra fuel on board. But we still have the legal minimum, so we're good there. Returning to the checklist. Go ahead. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that's where we are. Okay, fuel, we've got 38.9 on board. That's sufficient. Passenger signs are coming on. Windows are locked. MCP panel is set. Takeoff thrust is set. Takeoff speeds are set. CDU pre-flight is complete. Rudder and aileron trim set 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing is complete. Flight deck door is locked and closed and locked. And anti-collision lights can come on here just as soon as we get the doors closed. And our before start checklist is complete. Alright guys, we are ready for departure. Before I forget, let's get 22.8 for our CTAF on VATS and pulled up here. Oops, 122. Oh, that's lame. You gotta go up. And then yeah, okay. It's a little glitch, I think, with the flight factor. Okay, that works. At least we got it in there. Let's make sure that's turned on. Okay, let's get the airplane buttoned up and get the push on the way, and let's get out of here. Let's see, we got everything. We're on the APU, so we're not going to drop power here, and we'll go to airplane. We'll close forward and aft cargo and main cabin door. Let's see, those should all be closed now. Go ahead and let him pull the jet bridge. Excellent. Okay, calling for the pushback, and then
hey Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
Let's see, we're gonna have him push tail into the alley. Tail to the north. We'll come out at Charlie South.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
Alright, tow's on the way. Beacon light's coming on. We can go ahead and kill the dome light. Done with that. And we'll have the flight attendants begin their safety demonstration.
Ladies and gentlemen, we request your full attention as the flight attendants demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal fittings one into the other. Tighten it by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt
fastened
throughout the flight, as we may experience
United Heavy taking off over there.
Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate
All right, looks like the doors and hatches are closed. We're ready to connect.
Roger, you guys are cleared to connect.
Moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflating
I'm gonna turn
which may also be
radio's a little quiet. Let me turn this up a little bit.
Oxygen and the air pressure are always being monitored. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you. To start the flow of
Chicago
oxygen,
Traffic United 224 will be pushing off Charlie 11, tail into the alley in Chicago.
Secure the elastic band behind your head and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing into the mask. If you are traveling with
and auto brakes RTO. I need to develop my own checklist for this, like I did for the 737.
And then assist the other person. Keep your mask on until the crew member advises you to remove it. In the event of an
Welcome
emergency,
aboard, Captain. Tow's connected. Bypass pens inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Alright, brake is released. Strings off, you're clear for push.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Copy that. We'll be starting engine number 1.
Or between the armrests. When instructed to do so.
Alright, and we are pushing back.
Remove the vest.
We're going to start engine number 1. We're going to bring packs off first.
And adjust at the front.
We're on ignition 2. Engine 1 to ground select.
Only when leaving aircraft.
And here we go.
If you need to refill the vest, blow into the mouthpieces.
There's 20%. Fuel's coming in.
To attract attention. Also, your seat
why is the view all
cushion
screwed
can
up?
be used as a flotation device.
better.
Pull the cushion from the seat, slip your arms into the straps.
Oh, I just
and hug
erased
the
my,
cushion to your chest.
hit the wrong button. I just
following
erased my
electronic devices,
CDU view as well.
Smartphones, CD players, laptop computers may be used when the seat belt sign is off, or when permitted by the crew. Mobile telephones,
Really quiet.
remote-controlled toys, or any electronic devices operating with an antenna must be turned off at all times. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors installed in the lavatories is prohibited by law. You will find this and all the other safety information in the card located in the seat pocket in front of you. We strongly suggest you read it before takeoff. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
Alright, we gotta get started on 1. Let's spin engine 2. We'll do both here.
Thank you.
And there's 20% fuel coming in. We'll do this one from the cockpit view. There's light off, and 2 rise and 1 rise. Looking for the
Just
oil
about
pressure.
done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
Out of the red. Parking brake is set. You guys are clear for disconnect.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Check that out. I think we already got ice on the airplane. We got de-ice before we get out of here.
Chicago here, front here, 25, going to be taxing to runway 22 left, Victor 2, Victor.
I wonder if we should taxi all the way to the central de-ice facility. Alright, we got 2 good starts there. Let's see, we're going to transfer the electrical. There we go. Disconnecting. Let's see, we can come off the APU gen now. Swap the bleeds, close the isolation valves, and packs come back on. Let's do a quick scan on the overhead. It shouldn't have any abnormal lights. We have icing detected. That's alright. We're gonna have to get the airplane sprayed off before departure. Speaking of which,
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
O'Hare traffic, American 240.
we'll turn the engine anti-ice on here while we're on the ground. And we can shut down our APU now. We're done with that. For sake of time, I mean, in real life, they'd make you taxi out to Central de-ice facility. What we'll do, I think there's an option in the flight factor for de-ice. Well, we can get a de-ice truck. Can we actually de-ice the airplane? Is the question. This is interesting. I don't know if there's an option to de-ice in the flight factor or not. I thought there was. Maybe it was just the de-ice truck that I saw there in ops. And I wonder if that is the case, if we can only do it on the gate. But no, this is going to get really interesting. I don't want a repeat of the tailspin that I did into Billings here. Where else would that be, General? No, it would have to be under the airplane ops. And I could manually go in and change the weather. Just bump it up a couple of degrees to deal with that issue, but that would be the lame way to do it. Yeah, that's interesting. It's got the, I mean, it draws the static object. I don't think it actually does anything though. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with it. I hope we don't ice up on departure. I mean, we've already got ice on the windshield, and windshield heat is, oh, not on. I'll get that cleared up. Normally you'd wait until you're probably at the runway to turn your wing anti-ice on, but we're going to do it now just because I'm guessing that'll clear the ice off the airplane sufficiently for us to at least take off by X-plane physics standards, but we'll see. Okay, and then ECC mode, forgot those switches. There we go. There we go, that clears the cast. Let's set flaps 15. 3 notches, we'll do a flight control check. Do a little wing view action for this. Let's check the ailerons. And elevator. And rudder. Okay, so we're going to taxi out here. Our route of taxi.
O'Hare traffic, front here, 25, going to be taking off runway 22 left for a south departure.
Chicago O'Hare traffic. United 224 is going to taxi from Charlie south to runway 28 right, November 5 via Bravo, Alpha 15, and November, Chicago O'Hare. Alright, here we go. Taxi light.
O'Hare traffic, American 240 is established 8 mile, final ILS 287.
Those engines sound okay. They're just a little on the quiet side. Maybe we'll do some tweaking of the sound settings in cruise. They actually sound decent though by flight factor standards. Not too bad. Alright, the good news is, looks like the windshield heats worked. We got the ice off the windshield. Let's just hope we don't have ice on the engines and wings on takeoff. Alright, we're going to follow the line over here to the right. Oh, we are sliding. That is slippery. I had that nose wheel tiller turn over there, and then it just stopped turning. We're going to have to take this a little slow. I didn't realize how icy the ground was. Here in X-plane. Oh, we got TCAS off. Let me fix that too. There we go. TCAS 2000 T8 RA set. I need to add that one to, again, I need to develop my own checklist for this airplane because I'm not a huge fan of the default checklist. It's raining pretty good though. Alright, we're clear on the left, clear on the right. We're going to make a left turn here on taxiway Bravo. Again, we're going to take this nice and smooth and slow. Try not to slide around too much. Clear over here on the left. On the brakes. Do a little bit of differential braking as well to help it out. May even need a little differential thrust on some sharp turns. It's snowy. That's cool. I'm liking the environmental effects here in X-Plane 12. Definitely starting to feel a lot more realistic. There we go. Getting slid around the corner there. Without sliding too much. Let's see, we can switch this back over to engine view. Alright, we're looking for taxiway Alpha 15 now. It's going to be a right-hand turn here, just down here at the south end of the terminal area, terminal apron. Get a little taxi by shot on our way out here. That's looking pretty good. Nice reflections. Oh, back on center line. Oh, we're sliding. We are sliding that nose wheel across the ground. Almost took it off the edge line there. I gotta remember, I gotta be really smooth and slow on my tiller inputs after that nose wheel. It is straight up ice on the ground. Braking action poor. At least the rain has stopped, so we don't have any active freezing precipitation. That'll help us out. Kinda almost think maybe I should go full length, because man, if I had to reject a takeoff on that kind of runway, it's gonna take a long time to stop. Alright, Alpha 15 is going to be our next right-hand turn up there by that second yellow sign. We're going to slow down early because we cannot go around corners very quick. That nose wheel will just be sliding. I see somebody out there on final. That's cool. I love flying on VATSIM.
Air traffic, American 246, dated runway.
Oh, that's full brakes. We're sliding slowly. There we go. Man, that is such bad braking action. Alright, I need some, took me longer than I thought to stop. We're going to use a little, oh, it won't let me do differential thrust. Aim. That's going to be my excuse for buying the Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant. It's been on my wish list for a while now, but haven't quite pulled the trigger on it. But it would be nice in these kind of situations to have separate throttle levers. Left turn November, clear on the left. Come on, airplane, start turning. These little differential braking. It is so slippery. The textures look good too. So I have the airport enhancement pack, but you can like see the like snow in the grooves of the taxiway. That's a nice effect. Slipping. Come on. Go back to the right. There we go. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting takeoff. We don't have a lot of crosswind. I don't think. Here, let me this update. Well, we've got probably 7 or 8 knot crosswind component. A little bit of gust. I think we can handle it. The mains actually have pretty good traction. It feels like at least decent traction. But the nose wheel obviously doesn't quite have
Order
as much.
traffic, American 240 cross 28 right at Golf Golf, then left November, Echo Echo Bravo to Alpha 19.
Alright, let's see. I believe this is going to be Alpha or November 5 right here. This is our departure intersection. And I see this guy out here, and I just want to make sure he's not going to land on our runway. This guy's crossing here. Okay. Alright, we'll hold here. I'm gonna hold here for just a minute. I just got to make sure this one person out here on final isn't landing on this runway. Kind of looks like he is. He might be on the parallel. Chicago O'Hare traffic. United 224 Heavy is holding short 28 right at November 5 for departure. Is there any traffic on final to 28 right? Okay, he's not responding. He's still pretty far. He's on 28 center. Okay, good deal. Chicago O'Hare traffic. United 224 Heavy is taking off runway 28 right, intersection November 5, and will be a left turnout southwest departure. Correction, right hand turnout northwest departure. Northeast departure, Chicago. Oh my gosh. What direction am I going? We're going northeast. Alright, here we go. Lights on. Really, we're going to end up eastbound eventually, but I'm going to make a right-hand turn out for it. Lights. And here we go. We'll alert flight attendants. And auto throttle's armed. Let's run some checklists here. For takeoff, checklist. Anti-ice is on, isolation is off, recalls checked, auto brakes, RTO, ground equipment's clear, before takeoff briefing is complete, packs are set, flaps set 15 degrees takeoff, stab trim set, flight controls checked, flight cabin is secure, before takeoff checklist is complete. Alright, here we go, 28 right, November 5, let's go flying, guys. On this blustery winter day in Chicago. Alright, good lineup. We're going to put some crosswind correction in it. Yoke a little bit forward, keep traction on the nose wheel if we can, and some left aileron. Spilling them up. Here we go. Yeah, let's turn the wipers on too. That rain. Alright, here we go. Toga. Toga thrust is set. knots, cross-checked. Let's hope she flies. V1. Rotate. She's flying. Positive rate, gear up. Wipers off. Flyby shot, watch your gears. Here's that engine sound. going to go heading select. There we go. And VNav. That looks pretty good. I'm liking this. Nice scenery. The snow effects and everything. Alright, flaps 5. Just hope we don't ice the airplane up. And we gotta remember, we gotta make that 5.5 DME at or above 3,000, which we're almost there. We should be able to make it. Flaps 1. In real life, when I fly this departure, I will oftentimes hand fly it, because then it's just easier, you know, if you're going to come up a little short, you can just pitch the nose up, trade a little speed for altitude, rather than accelerating quicker. But there we've made 3 by that 5.5 ring, we're good on that restriction. Go 250 on the speed there. There we go. There it should be VNaving. There we go. That's better. A little too much speed reduction. Alright, coming up on the flaps up bug. Flaps up. We'll go autopilot on now. We'll start a right-hand turnout and take us out toward the east. Yeah, let's climb and maintain our flight level 370. Since we don't have any ATC, we'll go to what we're filed. Please don't ice up. Don't want some re-icing. And we've made that outer ring by 4, so we're good on our climb restrictions. Chicago O'Hare traffic, United 224 heavy, about 8 miles off departure end of runway 28 right. We're making a right-hand turnout, departing to the northeast, climbing flight level 370, last call, Chicago O'Hare. Kind of cool. It's getting in the clouds, ground's disappearing on us. I think it's going to be a pretty cool breakout here, because there was just that little bit of sunrise, so I think we're going to get a pretty cool breakout of these clouds. Let's get up here. As the one would say, it'll be juicy. Yeah, there we go. Check this out. Ooh, that's cool. You can see a little bit of the city down there with the snow. Just a little break in the clouds there. A little bit of the morning light breaking through from above. Liking it. Alright, let's turn right a few more degrees. We're going to go direct to our first fix, which I believe was Duffy, if I remember right. Actually, we don't need to turn right quite that much. We'll go up here. 090 heading. Come down here to the FMS. Oops, I forgot I deleted that viewpoint. Let me reset this real quick. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to go legs. We'll select Duffy and then reinsert it on top of itself. That sets us up direct to. We'll hit the execute button and LNAV. And that'll put us on course direct to Duffy. Since we're done with the climb restrictions, we can delete all that out. Come here to fix. We'll just hit delete over GCO, and that cleans up our display quite nicely. We can also get rid of those other lines. I believe if we go to RadNav, and then I think the same thing. We'll just delete there. There we go. And that cleans up our nav display. We're through 10,000 feet. Bring the lights off. Double ding on the seatbelt sign, let the flight attendants know. And we'll let them make their climb announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, our aircraft continues to climb. We want to remind you that all flights of our airline are non-smoking. For your safety, the lavatories have been equipped with smoke detectors. Damaging or disconnecting the smoke detectors is strictly prohibited. On the overhead panel, you will find a personal lamp, air conditioning, and a flight attendant. The lavatory for the business class passengers are located in the front of the airplane, and for the economy class passengers in the back and center of the airplane. For your safety when seated, we recommend to keep your seatbelt
I'm surprised we're still in some precipitation here.
seatbelt sign.
There's more to it than I thought. Let's turn the radar on too, see if we're painting anything. Go WX mode, go down just a couple of degrees on the tilts, and weather mode, there we go. See what we're painting. Here's the test mode, we'll give it a second. Not painting much, let's tilt up a little bit more actually. We're painting the ground over there. It still looks like we're kind of just painting the ground. Maybe that's actually the clouds. These don't look quite right. The clouds are almost like transparent right there. It's kind of weird. Yeah, that's interesting. Here, I'm gonna turn the sound down. We're gonna do a little outside view. Watch your ears. Yeah, that's interesting. I think that's a new bug as of release candidate 6, because I haven't seen that. I did a similar timed flight yesterday, just on my own, and I did not have that bug where I could see the horizon through the clouds. So I think that is a new bug as of release candidate 6. Maybe need to let them know. Alright, let's see. Let's dim our glare shield lights down here. There you go. It wasn't as epic of a breakout as I thought with that clouds ruining the effect. This one over here looks kind of okay. I don't know what's up with these clouds. Yeah, the lighting's a little bit goofy. And it's more goofy than I think it was in the last release candidate. Of course, I do have an NVIDIA update too that I need to do, so I should probably do that before I start blaming Laminar. Ooh, we're getting rocked here pretty good. For being in a heavy jet. That's weird. I'm like trying to decide if I'm in the clouds or if I'm not in the clouds. It's hard to tell. I think we're still in the clouds, but yeah, that's weird. That's weird. Yeah, it is what it is. That's what we get with early access. Alright, well, we're done with the Chicago charts. We'll relax and cruise here. I think the flight's going to be about a little over an hour and a half probably. That's wheels up to wheels down. Let's see. I guess this is some time to chill. See if we can break out some Christmas songs on Epidemic Sound. Yeah, 1 hour 34 around. We might be able to shave a few minutes off too. Go a little faster. That's starting to look a little better there. Working out. These clouds up actually went a little. They're a little higher than I was thinking. That's starting to look pretty good. That's a cool shot. Cool. Should be pretty smooth now. We'll give it just another minute or so. Make sure it's going to be smooth. And we'll get the seatbelt sign off. Oh yeah, we're well above 18 too. We need to get standards. The altimeters. Yeah, that's starting to look a little better. Now that we're up through that cloud there, that looks pretty good. Get the windshield view here. We'll do a little bit of Christmas music off Epidemic Sounds. A few of the lo-fi and jazz style songs. It's hard to believe it's almost Christmas time. This like fall season is like shot by for me. I think the whole second half of the year has gone by really quick. Excuse me, had to grab a drink of water. Yeah, I mean, let's see, I did my upgrade training like June, July, and then worked super hard September, August, August, September, and October. I had a pretty chill month last month. I only I worked like 50 hours last month, which is pretty quiet by standards at my company. But here we are. It's already December. Kind of a quieter year for me. I do have to be on reserve Christmas Day, so I won't really be able to go spend time with family on Christmas Day, but that's alright too. That is kind of the life of the airline industry. It's actually pretty fun to work holidays. I've had some really fun overnights and fun crews to work with on holidays. First year when I was at the airlines, first Thanksgiving, I ended up in New Orleans actually, and it was a reserve assignment, and had a lot of fun. It was probably the captain I was flying with on that trip. He was a pretty new captain at the time too, but I flew with him a couple other times since then. He's probably one of like the most chill, like just awesome enjoyable captains to work with. But I remember that trip vividly because we started off, it was supposed to be just a single day trip. Started off with a reposition flight from our home base, had to go to Minneapolis. So I had a couple of new flight attendants with us as well. And it was, like I said, originally scheduled to be just a day trip, so the flight attendants didn't pack any clothes with them. But when we got into Minneapolis, it was actually kind of like the weather was going through there. They had had like a major snowstorm overnight. So we had to fly through icing conditions getting in there, and we had an anti-ice fault message come up. And so we had to get that dealt with while we were in Minneapolis. Here, I'm going to turn the anti-ice off, speaking of that. So it's no big deal. We were able to get in there safely, but obviously we had to get the issue results before the airplane get back out, because it's still light snow and everything, still icing conditions. They had to fly a part in from a different city in order to make the repair on the airplane, so we ended up being delayed there like 7 or 8 hours. And I think all of us had like 3 or 4 day stretch reserve on our schedules. This is day one, so we ended up getting reassigned, and rather than having us go home that day, they turned our 1-day trip into a 3-day trip. So these poor flight attendants hadn't packed any clothing, so we had to we ended up in Washington DC that night, so we had to get that figured out. We were able to get to a store and get them some. So obviously they have their uniform, but they didn't have like any extra clothes for the hotel or the overnight. So anyways, we were able to get them to a store, get what they needed, and the following night we ended up in New Orleans. So anyways, fun crew. The hotel had like Thanksgiving dinner. They were cooking for all the guests in the hotel restaurant, and they were preparing their usual menu too. But they had like a Thanksgiving special going on, so that was fun. Got Thanksgiving, got to chill with the crew. Christmas that year's kind of a similar situation. It was another reserve assignment. Ended up there with a bunch of fun crews actually, and I think we were overnighting in Newark on that one. But yeah, just had a good time. There's just kind of like a special feeling when you work in the airlines on the holiday, because the days around the holiday are usually like really busy and really hectic, but the holidays themselves can actually be kind of chill and kind of fun. So if I'm not with my family, which I won't be this year, I wouldn't mind working Christmas, because like I said, it's actually pretty fun. It's not as good as being with family, but it's still a pretty fun experience to go and work on a holiday. Bose headset. There we go. Active noise reduction. Pretty cool sunrise. And I do like, check it out, the snow on the ground between the breaks in the clouds, sunrise coming up over the horizon, the different colors. It's looking pretty good. X-plane's coming along. Oops, I left those my turn-off lights. Oh, yep, sure enough. While we're cruising along, I'm just curious here. I haven't checked on the .org forum here in a couple of days. I'd released the Air Tahiti liveries about a week ago. I guess it's probably a little over a week ago now. And I've actually I've got 2 more liveries I want to make. I had a user on explain.org put in a request for me to make the Air Tahiti liveries, but he he gave me 4 or 3 specific ones that are like special liveries for Air Tahiti on their ATRs. And they're all kind of like they call them like the tattoo liveries, you know, because they've got those cool, like, intricate designs on them here. In fact, while we're cruising along, we'll pull this up here. I don't think I had showed off my Air Tahiti liveries on a video live stream yet, so I had to do a little bit of shameless self-promotion, right? Give me just a second, I'm going to set this up in OBS so I can share my web browser with you guys. There we go. Don't want to take up the whole screen though. Here, let me I'll shrink it down just a little. Put it down like in the corner here. There we go. That's a little better. Alright, so let's look at my files here. That's up to 39 downloads, it's not too bad. So yeah, this is the Air Tahiti livery that we made. Or 2 that we made. So this one's the plain livery, and then we did their 60-year anniversary livery. Came out pretty well, but yeah. 39, that's not too bad. I mean, Air Tahiti's not like a super popular company, but Silver Airways is doing pretty well, up to 91 downloads. This one, I really love this livery. It came out super, like, I started this off purely as an experiment because I was like, yeah, nobody's made a Silver Airways livery. Let's just see what I can come up with. But the Q400 is a really nice canvas to paint on, so to speak. Comes out looking really nice. Cool. Yeah, they're coming along pretty well. But yeah, so the other liveries, in fact, let me look it up here. We'll go to see if I can find some of these other special liveries I'm planning on hopefully doing eventually here. Yeah, here we go. So let's see, this is the one that I've made so far, or recreated for the Q400. These are the last 2 though that I want to do, but it's actually really challenging. It was far more challenging than I was anticipating because as it turns out, the Q400 texture files, the tail section up here, like the dorsal fin and the vertical stabilizer, are all completely separate. They're separate files, but not only are they separate files, but they're scaled differently, so you know, a certain number of pixels doesn't cover like the same area of the aircraft on the fuselage texture file as it does in the tail texture file. So for this livery, it actually wasn't too difficult because you know, the designs don't stretch on this particular one from the fuselage to the tail, other than just the red color that they have on the normal livery. And that did take me, it took me a couple hours to actually get that line drawn correctly on the Q4. But it was still doable though, like I said, because these designs, they didn't stretch from the fuselage to the tail, but getting this transition where the lines go from the fuselage to the vertical stab is like, I gotta figure out a way to do it because it's really hard to figure out how to match it up and get it to look right. But anyway, so that's my still ongoing project. For repaint, so I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm hoping Aerobasket is going to come out with the Epic E1000 soon in X-Plane 12, and I'd like to do another Epic livery because that was actually a pretty easy airplane. That was the first livery I ever created. Was my livery, or the first one, not that I ever created, the first one I ever actually publicly released was the livery I made for the E1000, and I really do love that airplane. It's like, I don't know what it is. I kind of like the E1000 a little bit more than like even the TBM. Like, they're very similar aircraft, but the E1000 just looks like so sleek. It's a nice airplane. Anyway, so I'm hoping that Aerobasque will update that soon. If they do, that might be my next repaint project. After the Air Tahiti liveries, if I can get those done. I still haven't, like I said, I haven't figured out how I'm going to pull those last 2 special liveries off yet. Yeah, they're coming along. They're still not, they're not Microsoft quality, but... How you doing, Dixie Farmland? Or, sorry, Dixieland Farm. See if we got anybody else going in Newark with us. See if I can share that spy. Yeah, there we go. See what we got going on here. Oh, actually, yeah, check that out. We got New York Approach online. Coming up on Detroit. Yeah, cool. We've actually got a controller out there. That'll make life fun. The only airplane you haven't got worked so far is the Mooney. Are you talking for X-Plane 12, the Alabeo? Is it the M20R? Is that what it is? The Ovation or the J? And the Metroliner. I haven't tried the Metroliner yet. That would actually be a fun airplane to try out one of these days. Cool. Well, we'll look forward to that. Let's see, how many aircraft are inbound to Newark at the moment? Yeah, looks like we got about 3 other ones coming. Looks like they're all coming across the pond. Or maybe just from Boston or somewhere else in the Northeast. Where's this guy? Yeah, coming from Boston. Yeah, the Alabeo Ovation. I haven't tried that one in X-Plane 12, but yeah, I guess it doesn't work yet. I'm actually, you know, I was really hoping Coronado would come through and do some... I don't know if they're going to do any support for X-Plane 12, but, you know, their airplanes... You know, they're not the greatest airplanes out there, but I always liked them. You know, it gives you a lot of variety in your fleet. I think that's what Coronado has to offer at a reasonable price. And I got a little bit of audio lag. Let me fix this here real quick. Check. There we go. That cleared up the audio lag. Let's see. We hit the end of the list. But yeah, I've been hoping Coronado is going to like announce some support for X-Plane 12, but nothing really is, there we go, there's some more music. Yeah. I know, so I have the Coronado airplanes I currently have installed in X-Plane 12 are, the 210 and I think the Baron. And I tried the Navajo, and I have the Reality expansion pack for all of those, because REP was, it was at SimCoders, they were saying that those specific Reality expansion packs are actually approved, or not approved, but they're compatible with X-Plane 12. So, and for the most part, everything except for the Navajo, for me, has worked on the REPs that I have. Oh, okay, I'll have to look that up, a Gear LUA mod. Yeah, the Cheyenne was another really fun one. I love flying the Coronado Cheyenne. I like that. I don't know what it is. I like that airplane more than like a King Air. Like just the layout of the flight deck, you know, where you got the overhead switches, and it's like handling characteristics too. That one was actually pretty well done. It felt very Piper-ish, you know, because I haven't flown any, I haven't flown a Cheyenne, but I've flown a lot of other Pipers in real life, and like Piper has just a very distinctive feel, like their yoke and how the airplane behaves, and that Cheyenne actually did a pretty good job of capturing that feel. So I haven't tried porting that one over yet, but yeah, if I can get that airplane working, that'd be another fun one to go fly. Let's see, we're up at cruise. Let's kick the seatbelt sign off. I forgot to do that. Let people up for a minute. Those clouds look pretty good. Another airplane I never did try out in X-Plane 11, but that I always kind of wanted to. I had it on my wish list. I just never pulled the trigger. Was the LES Saab 340. I tend to like the turboprops. Turboprops are they have a higher workload, but it's like once you master them, like they're just so fun and engaging to fly. You know, because they're high performance, they can kind of go, you know, same speeds and altitudes almost as a jet, but they've still got like all the aerodynamic characteristics of a propeller-driven aircraft, which X-Plane does a really good job of modeling that. You know, like the P factor and torque and everything you get from props. So, like if I'm just chilling in the sim, not necessarily live streaming, probably a good 60% of the time I'm in some kind of turboprop, either the dash or. I mean, back when I was playing X-Plane 11 a few months ago, the TBM and the Epic E1000 and the Cheyenne and the airfoil Lattice King Air 2 was another really fun one. I tend to fly those airplanes all the time if I'm just flying for myself. But yeah, I should try the Coronado one. I had the 1900 too, the Beech 1900 in Coronado, and I thought that was probably one of their better airplanes. They did a pretty good job with that one. Sound-wise and feel-wise, and systems were decent. Yeah, if we get it to the point where their airplanes are working reasonably well in X-Plane 12, I might grab the Saab. You know, I've actually worked with a lot of guys. The airline I fly at, I mean, 20 years ago they were flying Saabs around. So I've actually flown with a lot of people who have flown the Saab, and they all said it was a really fun airplane in real life. They all had good things to say about it. Let's check in on the flight deck here, make sure we don't have any abnormals. Looking happy. Let's see how we're looking fuel-wise. We're 32.3 over KEWR. Let's do a little quick fuel score here. Go to nav log. Where are you at? Flight log. There we go. Maybe? Yeah, there we go. Alright, KEWR. We are planned at... I haven't gotten used to this yet. I've only been using this plug-in here for about a week now. Does it not have planned fuel in there? Oh yeah, there you go. Duh. Estimated fuel on board. Alright, so over KEWR we should be looking at about 27.3. So what's planned? We got 32.2 on board. So actually we're doing quite well here on fuel. That's good. Did we already do this one? Let me go back and see. Oh, we sure did. Yeah. It started the same playlist over again. Here, let's see if we can... I know they got a lot of new Christmas stuff. Let's see if we can find some more. Some more Christmas music to enjoy. I want to discover music. Holiday season. There we go. Lo-fi Christmas beats. That'll work. A little bit of that going. I think we've already done a few of these, but we'll start part way down the list here. Okay, a lot of these songs I haven't heard of, so we're gonna see how this goes. You never know what you're gonna get on Epidemic Sound. It's alright so far. Definitely a bit different than my usual style of music. Let's see where we're at here. See if it'll work here. Alright, well that gives us something at least. Right over Lake Erie. Cleveland off the right wing. It's actually really not too far away. I can't get relaxed for too long, because Slate Run is the beginning of our arrival. It's only about 160 miles in front of us. Start looking at the destination. The horn section on the song literally sounds like they're playing in a different key than the rest of the music. I guess that's kind of the nature of lo-fi sometimes, though. My inner musician's like, it sounds a little weird. Let's see. No, we don't want Chicago. We want Newark. There we go. I think we already listened to this one, too. This is Sleigh Ride Bossa, I think. Yeah. Now that we're inside the airplane, we'll bring a little bit of sound back up. Alright, for our arrival into Newark, let's see, we'll want the parking gates diagram, and then we are going to want the 10-9 airport diagram. And we are also going to want the Williamsport arrival. And finally, we're going to do the ILS runway 4 approach, is what they were advertising as of late. That should set us up nicely. We've already got the approach loaded. In fact, before we get too far, let's make sure that's still a plan for now to land runway 4. And check my phone just because I'm OCD, make sure I didn't miss a call from work. That would get awkward. Lose my real job doing my fake job. Alright, for latest into Newark, we are showing 350 at 13, 2 statute miles in light rain and mist, broken at 700 feet, overcast at 1200 feet. No, still very much a kind of soupy day over there, but yeah, still landing 4 right, parting off 4 left. And 2956, what I'll do just to remind myself, we'll set, speaking of which, yeah, we are, okay. That's interesting, they actually have a little bit of discrepancy between altimeters. At least this backup one doesn't look like it's indicating properly. It's like way off. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, anyways, just for the sake of reminding myself, 2956. Yeah, that backup altimeter is like broken. Make sure we got like our pedostatic heats and stuff on. Yeah, window heats are on. I think the pedostatics in this airplane are automatic, if I remember right. I don't know if there's a switch for them on the overhead. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's interesting. That would be a maintenance ride up on the ground. I don't know how in depth we want to go flight simulation. Start doing a virtual ride up for an airplane. That'd actually be kind of a cool thing. You know, I tried flight sim economy once. Anyways, back to what I was doing. I tried flight sim economy once, you know, for a few days. I didn't really get into it as much, but that would actually be kind of funny, you know, if you could set up like a, or even like with a virtual airline. I've never tried a virtual airline, but have like actual maintenance write-ups and stuff like that. That would add another level of realism, but I don't know if it's the level of realism that I want when I'm in this. Okay, so here on the arrival, we're going to throw these expected altitudes in here. We got Hayde crossing at lowest usable flight level. Since our pressure is lower than standard, you do kind of have to do that on REP. Yeah, you can do like a maintenance report and stuff like that, so. Let's see here. So since our pressure is lower than 2992, our lowest usable flight level in this case is going to be flight level 190. So at Hayde, we'll put in 190. Put that in the right side there at Hayde. And then we're going to cross Raki at 13,000. And then we're crossing Sweet at 7,000. Alright, so Hayde 190, Raki 13, Sweet at 7. That all looks good. We still got the discontinuity after the arrival. That's normal because in real life, once you get down here to Sweet, they have to radar vector you onto the approach. Which we're landing 4 right, so we'll come out like down here. We'll do a downwind base and join the ILS to runway 4 right. Speed restriction, it just states that it's for the aircraft that are capable of 250 knots or greater, which we are. And that's pretty much it. Otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward, easy arrival. For our approach, we have got the ILS runway 4 right. Let's get this bugged here. Come back down here to the rad nav page. 108.7 is our frequency. We'll throw that into the ILS window. Invalid, delete. Oh, it's already, I didn't realize it's auto-tuned for us. That's easy. IEZA. 108.7039. Okay, cool. That auto tunes it for us. And then the last thing we just need to bug here, actually second to last thing, we still got to do speeds, but we also need to bug minimums, which we've got 211. So rounding that up, that'll be 220. We'll go here to barrel. 220. That knob is like very sensitive to a fast scroll. 220, there we go. 220 is set for barometric minimums. It requires 1800 RVR with flight director or autopilot to the decision altitude, which obviously this aircraft is capable of that. And finally, landing speeds. We'll come down here to init ref. We'll do a flaps 30 landing. Do this 145. In reality, I think we'll recheck this as we get closer, because I think this is based on current fuel, which is 31,000 pounds. We'll be a little bit lighter than that when we touch down. So that sounds a little bit on the fast side, but I mean, we are pretty heavily loaded with passengers and cargo, so that makes pretty good sense. Cool. That's the approach ref set. We'll probably do... Is it gusty in Newark? There's a little bit of wind. I don't know if it's gusty. 350 at 13. Yeah, it's not stating a gust factor, but I'll probably do a couple extra knots. We'll probably do about 153 to 155 on V approach. And cool. With that said, let's just read through the rest of this approach procedure, make sure we've briefed it all. 108.7039 course is set. Due one is the final approach fix at 17. Going down 220 DA, touchdowns on elevation is going to be 11 feet. MSA is around Teterboro VOR, that's 3,000 feet. If we got to do a published miss, climb 600 feet, climb left turn 2,500 on heading 060, inbound on the Teterboro 205 Teterboro, and hold. We're not circling to 29, so that's not applicable. VGSI ILS glide path are not coincident. Map. The left side is going to have Malsar approach lights and PAPs to the left-hand side. For us on for right, we'll have LSAF 2 approach lighting and PAPs left-hand side. And that's pretty much it. We'll plan a left-hand turn off, probably on a Papa 3, maybe Papa 4 if we roll out a little bit long. And in real life, this flight is arriving at gate C109. Oops, that's the Alpha terminal. That's the wrong gate diagram. Oops, not arrival. We want airport. There we go. Parking gates. Terminal C. How can I not find this? 10-9A, airport minimums, 10-9B parking gates. Again, that's just for Terminal A. They changed these charts recently. Parking gates continued. There we go. That'll be Terminal C. It used to be all on one chart, I believe. But they changed it because now they have this chart depicting the ramp spots on there. Okay, so gate 109. Make sure that's big enough. That should be... Yeah, you should be able to get a 767 into that gate. I believe they occasionally will park triples at these gates. Unless it's occupied. Otherwise, we can take it out to the international gates, and those are plenty big enough for 767. Excuse me. Alright, that's all planned out. So since we've got our VNAV set up, what we're going to do is we'll set our altitude selector now down to 7,000 feet. We'll let the aircraft just descend on the profile that we have drawn to meet those descent restrictions. There's 7,000 feet set. And top of descent, and what is that, like 50 miles? Give or take. Yeah, about 50 miles. Cool, and then since we do have an approach controller, I'll come down to this view. Let me pull up, actually I'll just do it on VATSPY here real quick. Newark approach controller is 128.55. Cool. We got that on standby, ready to go for us. Cool. Let me turn bat spy off. There we go. Do a little bit of outside view here for the last few minutes of our cruise. I wonder if there's any ATC delays today in Newark. Got me curious now. Newark's been known to fall apart on a good day, and I've certainly fallen victim to that. Newark's got a little bit of a reputation. Let's see. Yeah, sure enough, they've got... it's based on a little app that I have here. Showing an average 1 hour and 8 minute delay for flights around Newark due to wind. Same thing with LaGuardia. Ooh, LaGuardia is actually worse. GR is a 44 minutes average delay for flights operating LaGuardia today. I'm actually really surprised I didn't get called in, because oftentimes when New York falls apart are days when I get called into work. Although sometimes it can just fall apart so bad that like everybody gets reassigned, and then they end up like not using reserves as much, because like, you know, there's just reassignments everywhere, and so line pilots end up getting reassigned to do more work and stuff like that. But you never know. Airline industry is a funny thing. Every time I like try to predict if I'm going to get called in or not. I thought for sure I'd be called in today. You know, I was looking at how many reserves we had in my base and everything like that, but no. I get to chill at home, and I'm perfectly okay with that. I don't want to do that every day, but it's nice to have that once in a while. Alright, it should be just about 20 miles now from top of descent. Yep. How much wind do we got up here? We're actually doing pretty good, about 66 knots on the tail. Helps us sit on. What's our ground speed? 534. Ooh, I like that. It's a good thing I chose to go this way, because if I went the other way on this flight, it'd probably take about 2.5 hours. I think my personal best in the Embraer 175, I think I got up to like, I know I've broken 600 a couple of times. I want to say my fastest, I didn't take a picture of it, unfortunately, or write it down or anything. I think it was like 620. I've heard of guys getting up to about 640, 645. But yeah, I remember getting up to like 620 once. And it was a screaming tailwind. I think we had like, the jet stream was just moving. It was like 160 knots on the tail. Something ridiculous like that. Those days are always fun. It's more fun too if you get a day where it's like not overcast. You can actually kind of see the ground going by quickly. If the ground looks like it's moving quick from, 35,000 feet, then you know you've got a good tailwind. It hurts though when you have to go the other way. Like, it's always a trade-off. When you see a ground speed like that and then you realize your next flight is going to be westbound, and then your ground speed is like 250 knots, it's like, oh. There's always got to be a downside. I had to a trip once. I remember it was, let's see, we started off in Newark. We went to Sarasota, Florida. And then we went to Chicago, and then to Columbus, Ohio. And somehow we ended up with a headwind on all three, and not like a little headwind. I mean, it was like 100-knot headwind on all three legs, because the jet stream was doing like one of those big snake actions, where the jet stream like curves down to the south and then curves up to the north. So from Newark to Sarasota, the jet stream had a northerly flow along the eastern coast. We were in a headwind. I think we had a little bit of tailwind for like a few minutes coming out of Sarasota, but then by the time we got up a little bit further north, obviously we're cutting across the middle of the country now. And that's where the jet stream had been snaking to the south. So we had a 100-knot headwind going to Chicago. And then somehow, even going to like Columbus, it's, I guess, right back where we got into that northerly flow. Let's see, FMC message, drag required, okay. Oh, it is slowing us down a little bit. We'll put a little bit of speed brake out there. Yeah, anyway, somehow we end up with a headwind, all three legs, 100-knot headwind, and it was like, how does this work? This just isn't fair. Block hours were really nice that day. I think we blocked like 8 hours on the dot on that day. That was nice for my paycheck. I think we made like, because of headwinds, we made like an hour and a half of pay. Because the flights took longer to complete. Oh, she really needs some drag. She's about 1,000 feet above path. Okay. More speed brake. Cue the rumbling. Let's turn the sim sounds back up. We'll stay mostly inside the airplane now. We'll keep music rolling for a minute. We'll turn it off here. Be a little lower. Oh, why is my view all jacked up? This is a glitch I've noticed on the flight factors. Like, sometimes the interior, see, now it's like all off there. Like, your viewpoint gets blocked to where you can't like move it up or down. Ah, that's annoying. Yeah, all my views are like screwed up. Okay, that one works. Interesting. Okay, I can go up, down, left, right, and I can go forward, back, but only in the flight deck. Okay, those views fix themselves now. Very interesting. Yeah, because I flew the 757 the other day, and I had the same issue pop up, so I think it's some kind of weird glitch involving the flight factors. Yeah, this is interesting. I wonder if this air data system is like plugged up with ice or something. Because it's like retaining the pressure, I guess, from Chicago. I don't know. It's very interesting that altimeter's so far off. Also, why is it descending me so slow? Honestly, we could just do this. We're gonna go ENAV. Descent, let's bump that up to like 310. Okay, 310 slant 0.78. There we go. Okay, I guess we're reconnected. That was goofy. Yeah, okay. OBS just decided to give up on life for a few seconds. I'm curious to go see what that looks like in the replay. So I haven't live streamed a lot on YouTube. This is only maybe my third or fourth live stream. I took my first couple of them down because I didn't particularly like them. But yeah, trying to get OBS and YouTube to play nice. I am learning as I go. I'll have to see if I can troubleshoot why it dropped out on me. It's showing in the green now though, so that's good. Let's see, we can stow a little bit of speed brakes. Now we're catching back up to that VNAV path. And we're about to go in the clouds, which means it's going to get bumpy. Let's turn the seatbelt sign back on. I think it's got a lot of wind noise too. Actually, I'm gonna check something here. Ah, that's a little better. Sometimes XP Realistic's sound effects are a little bit too aggressive. Have I had any issues with icing? Yes, I have. I was actually talking about that on our departure out of Chicago because I was afraid that exact thing was going to happen to me. I was flying the A320 into Billings like a week and a half ago or so. Not live streaming, thankfully, but just, you know, flying in there in the Tullis. Or 321, I guess it was. But yeah, I knew it was icing conditions. I had the anti-icers on. I saw the ice, you know, effect building up on the windshield and thought, you know, that's okay. We've got anti-ice on. Should be no big deal. But yeah, out of nowhere, it took maybe all 30 seconds from entering icing conditions to being in a spin, unrecoverable spin, crashing into the ground. So I do think X-Plane, I don't know if it's a tweak that needs to happen in the weather model or maybe in systems modeling of anti-ice systems, but I can tell you, because I've flown through a lot of icing in real life in the Embraer, and you know, I've even flown through some pretty, you know, moderate icing. I don't think I've had any severe, anything that we classified severe icing, but I've flown through some moderate icing where it builds up a good, I've built up a good ½ inch, 3/4 inch worth of ice on the unprotected surfaces of the airplane. Obviously, all the protected surfaces were completely clean and the airplane operated safely, but you know, you get on the ground, there's a bunch of ice built up on the unprotected surfaces. And it took, in that particular case that I'm thinking of, it probably took a good at least 10 minutes for that much ice to accumulate. And I feel like the icing in X-Plane is a bit overdone with how quickly you start to notice the effects, because icing, it's not very, or at least it's not, unless it's like severe ice, it's usually not very abrupt, kind of like it's modeled in X-Plane. So yeah, you're not the only one. I've even been considering maybe filing a bug report or just feedback to Laminar about it, because I do have a lot of real-world icing experience in an airplane that's certified for flight into known icing, and I can tell you the way the X-Plane depicts it, it is a lot less stressful and a lot less likely to result in disaster as X-Plane would have you believe based on the current icing model. So, all right, let's see. We're coming up on 18, guys. We're gonna kill the lo-fi beats here. I'm gonna get music queued up for later on before I forget. That tends to be the theme of my live streams, is I'll get to the end and realize I forgot to queue up my music. So then the outro is like just me awkwardly talking for a minute. Where is it at? Where's my intro 6? It is there. Nope, that's intro 5. I got too many playlists. There it is. Alright. Alright, I've got my music queued up. And volume is set. I'm getting better at this whole live stream thing. It's funny, live streaming is literally, to me, live streaming is a lot more complex now than flying an airplane. A lot more to keep track of. Alright, coming up on 18, altimeter 2956 was the latest in Newark. Oops, inches mercury, 2956. There you go, there's some bumps. And possibly icing. Let's hope we don't end up in a tailspin. RC6 forum is buzzing with icing problems. Yeah, hopefully it's not worse than release candidate 6, because I literally just installed RC6 right before this update. I'm guessing they probably got a lot more reports about it in the last couple of days because there's that big storm system pushing through the U.S. And so a lot of people, including myself, I went out and flew around in it in the sim, because that's the fun of the sim, is you can fly through the bad weather. But yeah. I'm guessing they're probably getting blown up right now with all the reports of people that ended up in a tailspin crashing with the icing issues. Alright, we got speed dial back 250. I'm hoping it'll continue to pitch to follow the VNAV path here. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that, Zamboni. I gotta turn my, apparently CloudBot's not working. Usually I get an alert in the chat letting me know who's subscribed. I'll go fix that later. Anyways, thanks for subscribing to the channel, and welcome. Alright, yeah, she's gonna need some drag to make her crossing restriction. More speed brake. Ooh, pilot exam. Speaking of which, we actually gotta switch over. We gotta contact Newark approach. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure he's still online here real quick, just on that spy. Oh, that spy crash. That's annoying. Come on. Okay. That spy quit working. We'll do this nearby ATC. Is he still online? Yes, he is. Alright, here we go. I did swap that over, yes I did. Newark approach, good afternoon, United 224 Heavy, 15,000 descending, crossing Raki at 13 and Sweet at 7.
United 224 New York approach, hello, semi.
Roger. I might be maybe a hair too far out for him still too, we'll see. Yeah, speaking of which, we are definitely in icing. I gotta turn these on. No excuse if we tailspin and crash if I don't have the anti-ice system on. And we were a little bit higher, Aki. I actually slowed down a little bit early too, that doesn't help. There we go, now we're back on the path. Now we can, should be good to stow speed brakes. The tailwind is dying off a little bit. Sim turned all the back up. That looks pretty good. There are moments where the cloud in X-Plane 12 is impressing me. There are other moments where it definitely doesn't, but that looks pretty good right there. That's quite realistic looking. Alright, 29er, 69er, and squawking 1070 United 224 Heavy. Alright, he gave me 69er on the altimeter. We'll use that. Oops. That is the wrong knob. 69er. And let's see, barrelman should be at 220. There we go. And we're squawking 107.
North departure, 1428, higher departure, 11.
1070. There we go.
1428 New York departure. Hello, you're cleared to Boston. Newark 4 departure. Radar vectors merit then as filed. Climb via the Civic and maintain 3000. Expect level 21010 with fast departure. Departure frequency 128.
Alright, coming up, crazy view. Coming up on 10,000. Let's slide up the airplane.
Let's be the Newark 4 departure, radio vectors merit then as filed. Climb will be the Sid, maintain 3000. Expect 210 10 minutes after. 2855 is departure and 1026
Ladies and
departure.
gentlemen, in a few minutes our aircraft will land at the destination airport.
The
For
1428
your
Rebecca's
safety,
correct.
we
Expect
ask you
air
to
suppression
remain
calling
seated
tag
until
to
the
David
aircraft
Delta.
comes to
Cruise
a
expect
complete
4 left
stop
for
and the
departure.
fasten seat belt sign is turned on.
Well, left, we have
When
Delta
preparing
over
to
all on
depart,
tax, Delta
please
2020.
make sure to take all your personal belongings
United
with you.
224 radar
Attention,
contact 2
international
miles
travelers.
northwest of the Broadway.
If you
Via
will
large
continue
text
your
message to
flight,
the island
follow
4
the
right
signs
Delta
to international
8 is
transit
Delta
area.
occurred.
Alright, we'll grab Delta and we'll expect ILS 4 right, United 224 Heavy. Which I think we got Delta. Let's look through here. That's Hide ATIS, arrival ATIS. Oh, usually it'll pull it off of VATSIM. It's actually not for me. We'll go this way though to get it. X-Pilot. Let's see, nearby ATC. Newark. ATIS. There we go. We'll grab it that way. Alright, information Delta, 5 miles light range, scatter 900. Forecast 22, 29er, 59er, ILS 4 right, in use, and departing 4 left. That's pretty much all the same as we had. I think it said 59er though, actually. Hang on. And we're through 10,000. I'll make sure he's cranked up too. He's a little quiet for me. Yeah, we're cranked up all the way. We need to do it on X-Pilot too. Do settings, ComWin, let's bump that up to like 60%. That's better. Okay, back up here, X-Pilot.
United 224 maintain 7,000.
Maintaining 7,000, United 224 Heavy. 7,000 is already set, so it should level us off there. ILS 4 right, GLS approach on request, 4 left. Mode C on all taxiways. Yep, cool. Yeah, it does say 5.9er. He gave me 6.9er. I think that, I'm going to guess that was probably an error. I'm going to dial this back to 59. So I was thinking, and we'll set it over here too. 2.9 or 5.9er set. We never did run a descent check. Let's do that real quick too. Descent checks, pressurization, landing. Actually, we didn't set that either. Set that down. It's about 20 feet for the airport elevation. With the lower pressure altitude's actually a little bit higher. We'll add 100 feet to it. Recall is checked. Auto brake. We're going to do auto brake 3 for this landing. Landing data, VREF is set. Approach briefing is complete. Approach checklist, altimeters are set, and nav aids are set. Approach checklist is complete. Oh, level off airplane. Okay, there we go. Maybe. Leveled me off a hair low. That's not good. It's recovering though. Put it in alt hold mode. We don't need to VNav really anymore, so. Let's see, we're at the end of the arrival, so we're just going to continue. I don't think he gave me a heading quite yet. Oh, we're icing. That scares me. Oh, I might have to go manually change the weather. Yeah, we're icing bad. Shouldn't need full thrust to maintain altitude. Gosh, that makes me so nervous. Holy cow. And there, I think the anti-icing is doing its thing. It's clearing. But, yeah. So you saw the engine split up, so I guess we had actually iced up.
Next approach, hello again, it's United 402, we'll stand Charlie 133. We have Delta, we're looking to clear the box.
I might have to go manually change the weather if we're gonna.
United 224, turn right heading 160, descend and maintain 6,000.
160 and 6,000, you got 224 heavy.
United 402, thank you, crew 2 Boston, Newark 4 departure, radar vectors Marathon has filed, decline by the Citic, have maintained 3000, expect flight level 210, 10 past departure, departure frequency 2855, squawk 106 tree.
Okay, we're clear to Boston, Newark 4 departure, merit transition, initial 3000. Expect 210, 10 minutes after departures, departures with you, and squawk 21,
faster.
1063 for United 40.
And 402, that is correct, pushback at your discretion, calling for taxi, 8 is Delta's, current expect 4 left for departure.
Well, expect 4 left and call for departure, 240.
Approach, JetBlue 682.
I really kind of want this guy to get me lower so we can get out of the icing, or below the freezing level.
JetBlue 682, New York approach, hello, thanks for the weather, expect vectors ILS 4 right. 4 right, JetBlue 682, routing.
This guy's gonna slam dunk me here.
Yes, 508 Delta, New York approach, hello, 8 is Delta's, current expect ILS vector, vectors ILS 4 right. Vector ILS, vector to ILS 404 right, so it's the same factor here.
Just loaded the Zebo, fleet approaching in Chicago, had no problems. Sure, we're not sure if we're expected or just luck. Yeah, it might. You know, I wouldn't put it past Zebo because, you know, that airplane's so well modeled that I don't know. I don't know what kind of coding it takes to model the anti-ice system. But, yeah. It's entirely possible maybe it's modeled a little better in that airplane.
United 224, descend and maintain flight balance.
Descend, maintain 5,000, United 224 heavy. 5,000 set, and let's see, we're going to flight level change. That way it should maintain speed for me. That's what I should have done on the last one. A little technique thing. I've noticed too, the flight factor airplanes in X-Plane 12, like I don't think they have induced drag modeled, because as you go slower, the airplane is like really, really slippery, like a lot more than it would be in real life. Once you get the gear down, you get enough drag to really help you out, but before that, it's a very slippery airplane. I have a hard time getting these airplanes slowed down at low altitude. We're gonna speed brake a little, help it down. But I think flight factor, I'm thinking it's induced drag. They need to tweak their flight model a little bit for their airplanes.
At a 224, turn left heading 130, descend and maintain 3000.
130 heading, descend 3000 United 224 heavy. And 3000 set. And we're still flight level changing. We're going to give it more speed brake, help it down. And we'll actually, we can go up to 250 knots below 10. We'll bump the speed up. That should help it pitch the nose down for a little more airspeed. That'll help increase the rate of descent.
So 224, 6 miles from Gritty, turn left heading 070, maintain 3000 until snapshot on the localizer, cleared ILS approach 24 right.
Alright, 070 heading 3000 till established, clear to ILS, runway 4 right approach, United 224 heavy. Alright guys, we are clear for the approach. I'm going to arm up approach mode, so it should capture my localizer, because we're within a reasonable distance here of the runway, within 15 miles. What I'm going to also do though is we're going to get down to legs, grab Gritty, we'll do that, and then it's a 0, it's our final approach course, 039. For the intercept course, that'll draw our, oh, don't screw up my views again. Hang on. There we go. You gotta go outside view. It's a weird bug. Anyways, that draws our localizer for us, so it should help give us some situational awareness. Like I said, we're just gonna do loc mode for the intercept. There we go. Alright, we are fast too. We need to slow down. Speed 170, let's see. Speed for flaps 1 in this airplane is 260, so we're going to go flaps 1. Start getting her slowed down a bit. The views, it's weird. That's a weird glitch in the flight factors. I can't move my viewpoint up or down right now for some reason.
Yeah, we had some sort of glitch. We lost control of the aircraft, so we're disconnected.
Have a great night.
He iced up. How much you want to bet he just iced up? Had a glitch and lost control of the aircraft.
United 402 right taxi 4.
Alright, 1 dot below glide, gear down. For flaps 15, 220 is the speed, we're below that, flaps 15.
Bravo Double Alpha.
Alright, localizer and slope captured, missed approach altitude is 2,500 feet. 2,500 set. Oh yeah, we can stow the brakes now. Let's go flaps 20. Speed brakes are stowed. Looking good. We'll maintain 170 to our final approach fix. We should be able to slow down sufficient. You'll bet your X-Plane 12 license. Yep, me too. I want to bet, because it sounded like an Airbus autopilot disconnect. I'm betting he was flying one of either the flight factor or the Tullus Airbus, probably iced it up and spun into the ground. I really thought when we were picking up that icing, I really thought that's what our fate was going to be. I thought we were going to ice up and end up spinning the 767 into the ground.
On the Newark 4 departure, double 1428.
At 224, traffic will depart before your arrival. Wind 330, guard 1 flight, gust 22, runway 4 right, clear to land.
Runway 4 right, clear to land, United 224 heavy. Alright, clear to land, guys. Flaps 25. This airplane's actually behaving a little bit better than the other flight factor the 7.5 was. The 7.5 is like super slippery. This one's actually slowing down reasonably well. Alright, and we're below 177, flaps 30, speed V approach, which was going to be an RF. Where is it? There we go. 150 was going to be our V approach. And landing checklist. Let's see, checklist, cabin unsecured, speed brake arm, landing gear down, 3 green, flaps set 30, landing checklist complete. We'll give them the double ding, flight attendants know we're just about to land the airplane. 1,000 configured. Alright, we're going to transition here. We're going to get the auto throttles off first. That way I can match them up pretty well. And let's see, I haven't actually landed this airplane in a long time, so hopefully we don't slam it in. Autopilot's coming off. Nice, small, precise corrections. A little high.
Delta 1428 radar contact, say altitude leaving.
Oh, there's the white runways.
Leaving 1.9.
1428, thank you.
500, stable.
5,000, flying 040.
Up to 5,000, 040, Delta 1428.
A little fast correcting, a little bit high. That rain is noxious.
Minimums.
Need to assign a button to my wipers. Alright, watch the sync rate here. We're a little bit high, but we don't want to slam
100.
it.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Don't let it down. Don't float it too low.
10.
That wasn't bad.
1428, proceed direct
take it.
Merit, climb maintain 17,000.
Direct Merit up to
Auto brakes off.
1428.
We're going to be a little bit longer than I planned. Oh, it's slippery. Oh, it's real slippery. We're going to use all this runway. Whew. That was spicy. I thought we were going to be off like 2,000 feet ago, man. That thing, I was full in the wheel brakes, and she did not want to slow down. Braking action medium, I would say. We used the entire runway. Holy cow. I did not plan on that. I floated it too. Honestly, I probably floated. We'll watch the replay. I might have been a little outside the touchdown zone. But, ooh, that was fun.
United 224 Heavy, welcome to Newark, safe parking.
United 224, parking gate Charlie 109.
224, thank you. Taxi Zulu, Sierra Kilo Alpha, clear across runway 22, right on Zulu, clear across runway 29 on Sierra.
Okay, Zulu Kilo Sierra Alpha cleared across cleared across 4 left and 29er United 224 Heavy.
Almost, Zulu Sierra Kilo Alpha.
Sorry about that. Zulu Kilo Sierra Alpha to Charlie 109 and cleared across 4 left and 29er United 224 Heavy. Alright, let me look at this real quick. So Zulu Kilo
At 508 Delta,
or
you're
Zulu
supposed to
Sierra
maintain
Kilo
7,000,
Alpha.
no problem, maintain 6,000.
Okay, I see what he's talking about now.
Maintaining 6,000, Ethiopian 508.
Alright, we are cleared across, clear on the left, clear on the right. It's interesting, normally they won't clear you to cross 2 runways at the same time, with a few minor exceptions. Generally, they'll only clear you to cross 1 runway at a time, so that kind of threw me off a little bit, but that works. Alright, once we get clear of the runways, we'll run our after landing checklist. Yeah, that landing, that was a little more spicy than I thought. This flight, I actually haven't really seen, I haven't played with too much yet the effects of
And approach, we'll take Victor for our departure,
the wet runway surfaces.
That is 402,
But
no problem, runway
yeah, the
4
modeling
left, Victor,
X-plane is
taxi by
done.
Alpha
You really
Victor.
feel, if you're on a slippery surface, you feel it. Like I said, that was a lot more runway than I was thinking I was going to use on that landing. That was a good practice. Glad I didn't overrun it. is eye-opening. Alright, and Sierra is going to be the left-hand turn right here. We are clear to cross G9. We still got the lights on. As soon as we're clear here, we'll get
We're fully ready upon reaching 39.
the after lane checklist done. Go to the left. Clear on the right, we're clear to cross. Yeah, it's gonna be a spicy replay to go rewatch that one. I'm curious to see, because I know I floated the landing a little bit. It's hard to see the markings with the water, which yeah, is honestly pretty accurate to how it is sometimes.
402 flies in Newark 4 departure. Wind.
Okay, we are crossing the hold short line right here. Clear the runways. We're gonna continue up Sierra and right turn Kilo to the right. Lights, speed brakes, flaps. And we'll spin the APU. Yeah, let's get some wipers going too. I like the fact the wipers actually work. That's a nice little touch on the flight factor. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. Checklist after landing. It's a shutdown anyways. We'll do that at the gate. I need to develop my own checklist for the flight factor 7.5 and 7.6 family. That looks pretty good. I like the rain effects on the taxiway. I'm still just kind of taking in X-Plane 12. But you know, the raindrops in the puddles, that's looking pretty good. Alright, our next right hand turn is Kilo. And we're going to turn right Alpha, which will be the second right-hand turn. And that should take us toward the gate. Now we're going to switch actually to this diagram. So we're on Kilo here. It's going to be a right turn Alpha and a left turn Romeo Hotel into the alley. Or Romeo Juliet. We'll probably do Romeo Juliet. Alright, clear on the left, clear on the right. Coming to right Alpha.
At 402 radar contact, say altitude leaving.
Altitude leaving.
Hey, that is 402, we're passing 1,000. 402, thank you. Fly maintain 5,000 and fly heading 040.
Yeah, the weather effects on the ground are pretty good. It's very immersive. Like I said, I installed the, this is a payware texture pack on the .org forum, the Airport Scenery Enhancement Pack or whatever it's called. And it actually does quite a lot to improve the weather, like the puddle effects and stuff like that. It looks pretty nice. Let's see, the rain's done, now kill wipers. I do like how dynamic the rain is and stuff. Oh, our gate's going to be occupied by an airplane. These are just the drawn airplanes. I might have to get on and make those disappear. Should I just pull in here? Does that work? Or is there actually a gate open because it's got that small airplane there? Let's go outside. Oh, there is a gate open. I think that's our gate too. Aha! Success. Our gate is available. I was going to say, this is very true to real life. I have had to wait a lot in Newark for gates to become available.
402, proceed direct to Merritt, climb maintain 17,000.
Turn this into extended tarmac delay simulator. I don't want that level of realism in this sim. I want some level of realism, but not that level. That's just too much stress and paperwork for a captain to have to deal with. That's why I had to hop off the VATSIM network last night, because I was turning into ATC, or was it yesterday? Yeah, I did a Twitch live stream of the 757 yesterday. Had to hop off of VATSIM before we even got off the gate because LA Center was so busy I couldn't even get a clearance. So I was turning into ATC delay simulator. Alright, we're going to go to our marshaller view here. How about that? That looks pretty cool. Alright, park brake is set. APU gen is transferred. Engine 1's coming down, seatbelt sign. And engine 2. We'll swap the bleeds.
Delta 1428.
Isolation valve.
Delta 1428, go ahead.
You want us over to Boston Center now?
Cool. Let's see, beacon lights coming off.
It looks like you disappeared, but yeah, center.
Yeah, those exterior sounds are actually pretty good. This airplane, compared to Flight Factor's other airplanes, the sounds on this airplane are actually okay.
No worries.
Their other default sounds not so much, but I can dig this one a little bit. It's definitely better. Alright, let's run our park checklist or shut down. We'll disconnect and we're going to go watch that replay because it's going to be spicy after that one. Let's see, fuel pumps coming off. There we go. And weather radar. Oh, actually, the weather radar should have been turned off after landing. My airplane does that automatically, so I don't have to remember. Let's go into test mode there. I don't know how to actually turn it off. Putting it in test mode should at least turn it off of transmit mode. Cool, and that's shutdown checklist complete. We're going to hop off of that sim, and let's go watch a replay. Oop. There we go. And let's see. I had to change my keybind. Is it this? Yeah, there we go. I accidentally kept, sometimes when I'm just flying single player, I'll fast forward through the cruise section. And the other day I was doing that, and I hit the wrong keybind, and I accidentally went into replay mode and in cruise, and it crashed my sim. So, I've had to reassign buttons. We're going to slowly drag this back here. So I've had some issues with, let me turn sim down a little bit here, it's loud. I've had some issues with X-Plane and crashing when I do, like, crash to desktop when I do a replay, so I have to be, like, very, very ginger with the scrolling. I found if I do that, generally I don't get a crash to desktop if I am patient. Yeah, I gotta debrief this landing. There were a couple of brief moments on our rollout where I did not know if I was going to get this airplane stopped on the runway surface. I thought we were going into the grass at the end. And I know I floated a little bit, you know, because I haven't flown this airplane a lot, so I had to kind of get a feel for the landing flare, but let's see how I did. Ooh, the reflections in the water too. That's pretty cool. So yeah, we're definitely beyond 1,000 footers. There's 15, 2,000. It's got to be down by 3,000 ish. So yeah, we were down. Where was that? That was a little bit over 2,000. So I floated. Generally, if I'm aiming at the 1,000 footers or maybe slightly ahead, I usually touch down about 1,200 to 1,500 feet is my target if I'm aiming near the 1,000 footers. So I was a little bit float. A little bit of float, so there's 15. I think it was about 20. Yeah, there's the 2,000 foot marks. We're just a little bit beyond that. So yeah, probably about 2,500 feet. So I floated about 1,000 feet. That definitely didn't help us. So that's pretty cool though. Alright, let's watch the replay. Let's enjoy the nice views here. Let's do the runway view here. Pretty good crosswind too. At least I was on the center line on the touchdown. That was good. Yeah, centerline was really good. Alright, let's do a wing view. Dude, it looks so good. I have to say, the airport environment is really where X-Plane shines. Like, even more so, I think, than Microsoft. I think the default X-Plane airports look really good in the sim. Yeah, that's a pretty good touchdown. That ground roll is so long. And I mean, that was full brake pedal too. My pedals were pushed all the way to the floor. It took that long to get that airplane slowed down. Yeah, that was cool. Anyways, guys, we'll watch a few more of these in the outro, but I think we'll call it here for the live stream. Thank you all so much for checking out. Dixie says they've built 20 airports for the Gateway. Okay, that's cool. I've actually kind of wanted to do that, you know, because I've done some like texture work, you know, repaints for airplanes. Back in the Microsoft Flight Sim 2004 days, actually, I never actually published anything, but I would, you know, design airports that I flew out of at the time for Microsoft Flight Sim 2004. There were a couple of programs available back then, but I had a lot of fun doing that. I would love to get into scenery creation in X-Plane. I think I would enjoy it. That'll be a project for another day. Anyways, guys, we'll call it there. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a fantastic day. Take care. Oh, fail. I didn't have I thought I had my music queued up. I must have closed the window. I was so close to having the perfect outro. That's my style, though. There it is. Take two. Have a fantastic day.